What is up, everyone? It's Thomas from Savant here with a brand new look. Why? Because it's finally time to start talking some beach volleyball. That's right, folks. A brand new partnership just got announced on the American men's side, and we believe they're not only going to dominate the AVP, but make waves to the international scene. So if you dig some occasional beach volleyball content, like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, before we get into this exciting new duo on the beach, we first got to discuss a little bit of beach volleyball history, especially as it pertains to American men. The women's side, nothing to worry about there. Those girls have been crushing it for the past 30 years alongside the Brazilians. They need to just keep doing their thing. On the men's side, however, there is a real cause for concern. Matter of fact, these boys have been in an 18-year drought. We're on the biggest stages of beach volleyball. They haven't done anything of relevance. So, beach volleyball was introduced to the Olympics in the 1996 Atlanta Summer Games. And in the first four Olympics, it became an official sport. American men won 3 of 4 gold, including a silver in there. You had legends like Karch Karai, Dean Blanton, Mike Dodd, and then the latest to do it was Phil Dahlhauser and Todd Rogers, who won the gold in Beijing in 2008. These boys were the top of the top, the upper echelon of beach volleyball. Since, it's been anything but. In the 2012 London Games, we had 2 duos ranked in the top 4. Ranked in the top 4, you're expecting a medal to go to the Americans in there. And what happened? They lost in the quarterfinals. In the 2016 Rio Games, we had 2 duos ranked in the top 6. Once again, couldn't get past the quarterfinals. In 2020 Tokyo, we had 2 duos ranked in the top 10. Kind of see the Americans dropping in the pecking order. And those boys couldn't even get out of the round of 16. And then in the latest Summer Games in Paris 2024, we had only 1 American pair ranked in the top 10. And once again, couldn't get past the quarterfinals. As far as the FIVB World Championships go, those started a year after the sport was introduced in the Olympics in 1997. And those tournaments are held every 2 years. Out of the first 7 World Championships, the American men medaled 4 of 7 finals. But since, no medals. A couple 4th place finishes, but that's about it. But guess what? That is all about to change. And the gentlemen to do it, Taylor Crabb and Andy Benesh. Let's kick things off with the defender, Taylor Crabb. Standing at 6 feet tall, he is technically undersized for the beach, but his play tells a different story. He can get at the sand with the best of them, and he's got a whip of an arm. When he makes contact with the ball, that shit echoes throughout the stadium. And then when it hits the sand, it pops to heights we've never seen before in beach volleyball. And then once the defense gets wise to that, he's got an endless bag of tips and shots to perfectly place the ball in the sand for a point. And on defense, the man is an absolute menace. He is touching almost everything. If it's a clean contact, you can guarantee it's going to be a perfect pass or a cheeky one-over to catch the other team off guard for a quick point. As far as accolades go, he's a 2-time AVP MVP. He's got 14 pro AVP titles to his name. And for the past decade, he's been the best American defender. He has 7 different AVP best defenders during that time span. Oh, and some might not know this, but he's an Olympian. He qualified for the Summer Games of 2020 in Tokyo, but couldn't play due to COVID. And for a minute there, it seemed like Taylor was content with that, as he didn't make a run for the 2024 Paris Games. But it's great to see that the hunger is back, and he not only wants to get back to the Olympics and play in the Olympics, but medal. And the man and blocker to help him get there is Andy Benesh. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches, Andy is one of the largest human beings to ever hit the sand, alongside the late, great Phil Dahlhauser. He has a towering presence on the net and knows how to smother attackers on any given play. Plus, has the ability to read when shots are coming and delay the block to swat it back. And on offense, he's a model of consistency. He's got a laser of a serve that can rack up the aces and stay at the net. And because of his height and contact point, he can rip a spike 12 feet off the net. It doesn't matter where you set him. And his hands are buttery smooth. Some of the best hands we've ever seen from a big man. As far as accolades go, he's a 2-time AVP best blocker, and he has 5 pro AVP titles to his name. Matter of fact, Him and his old partner, Miles Partain, from 2023 to 2025, entered only 7 pro AVP tournaments and won 4 of 7. They were running the gauntlet on the American side. And just like Taylor Crabb, he's an Olympian. He was part of the duo that went to the summer 2024 Paris Olympics and took the Americans to the quarterfinals, the farthest they have been since Rio 2016. All right, so that's them individually as players, but what do we love about this team so much? What about the pairing of Crabb and Benesh is so special? Well, first off, unlike other countries, which use teams of coaches and analytics to pair the best blockers and defenders together and give their country the best teams to go on the biggest stages of volleyball and win, American side is a little bit different. American players have the freedom to choose who they want to play with. So with egos and personalities possibly getting in the way, we don't always get this scenario of having our best defender matched up with our best young blocker. And second, this is arguably the best teammate either of them has had at their respective position. Let's look at Taylor Crabb's history. First, he played with his brother Trevor, who is an undersized blocker and has permanently moved to the defender where his strengths truly lie. Next, he played with Jake Gibb. And no offense to Jake Gibb, Gibb is one of the best big men to ever do it. But he's a little shorter than Benesh, and he played with Taylor at the tail end of his career in his early 40s. And he is 30 years young and in his prime. And then lastly, Taylor Sander. We love Taylor Sander on this channel. Can't wait to see what he does next on the sand and who he partners with. But another undersized blocker that had to use techniques like swing blocking to be relevant in the blocking game. And that just doesn't translate well to the international scene. With the stature of some of these players and the height that they can jump out of the sand, you need a towering presence at the net to shut down specific lanes, which Andy can do. And then let's look at Andy's past teammate, mainly Miles Partain. Andy was lucky enough to play with Miles, who is one of the best young American defenders in the world. And he's on par with Crabb, but he is not Taylor Crabb. Taylor Crabb has the speed and athleticism of a young buck and another decades plus of experience. That is going to be so crucial. As we alluded to on the American side, the coaching is lackluster. So for a young player like Andy to have a veteran presence like Crabb in big matches is going to be so important. And finally, and the most important part about this partnership is how dynamic and creative they both are as players. Look at the wrinkles they were adding with their old partners. Andy and Miles were doing jump sets over on twos. The two Taylors were running routes where they drag the blocker out to the pin, but set it in the middle to give Crabb free reign at the net. Also the Crabb over on ones before the team has any chance to react to get a quick point. These are the things you need to do in the modern beach volleyball game. Look at the Swedes who have revolutionized the game at the top. They are doing jump sets, push sets, over on ones, over on twos to get points because all these teams at the top, their side-out game is so consistent and clean. You need to find ways to score points fast and quickly and catch the other team off guard. And these are just the wrinkles we've seen from Andy and Taylor recently. Who knows what other elements they got in the bag as they develop this chemistry. It could be exactly what we need to finally have American men's beach volleyball break through to the top once again. And that is a wrap, folks, on the next men's American duo to do it big on the beach. What do you guys think about this partnership? Are you guys as bullish on these two as we are? Let us know in the comments below. And be on the lookout for them to hit the sand in March. They got a tournament in Brazil starting on March 11th, as well as they'll be part of the AVP League qualifiers that start on March 28th as they make their run for the 2028 LA Summer Games.